Okay, good morning from Sambuddha Loka Vihara Facebook account. Today I'm alive from San Bernardino. As for the monthly program of Sambuddha Loka Vihara. So I am Kittibante. My name is Kitty Bhante. So I'm staying in San Bernardino at Sakyametam Buddhist Vihara, Karuna Buddhist Society. So I'm right now I'm live from Sambuddha Loka Vihara Facebook account, and I see many people are online. So good morning to all of you, or good morning, good evenings, wherever you are. And I believe everyone is safe. Everyone is following all those instructions to keep you safe from the present pandemic. So today my programs will be a Dhamma talk first between 8:30 to 9:30, and then we will have a break, and again at 10 we will have maybe a little meditations, vipassana sessions for about maybe 30 or 40 minutes. Let me start this Dhamma talk with reciting the first verse of Lord Buddha. Soon he became a Buddha. He recited this Pali stanza, which is Aneka jati sangsarang sanda vissang anibbisang gahakaraka gave santo dukkha jati punang gahakaraka dittosi punogehang nekahasi sabba te phasuka bhagga gahakutang visankatang visankara gatang chittang tanhanang kayamajjaga. So we know that it's been very hard for everyone around the world, not only us, but there are many people, they are staying at home, having quarantine, and many thousands of people, they got infected with the virus. But anyway, as Buddhists or as admirer of Lord Buddha, maybe some of us wondering what should we do at this time. How do we practice the Dhamma? How do we practice the words of Buddha during these pandemic situations? And I believe even if Lord Buddha was alive at this moment, if somebody asked him, as Buddhist practitioner, what do we have to do in this pandemic situation? We cannot go outside, and we shouldn't go outside. We shouldn't go outside. We have to stay at home. So home quarantine, and then we have to save ourselves, also our family members, and also many other people. So at this moment, if somebody is wondering, what do we have to do at this situation, and how do we practice Buddha's teaching or the doctrine of Buddha? And I believe even if Lord Buddha was alive, he will just say one single stanza, what do you have to do, which is Sabba papasa akaranang kusalasa upasampada sa chitta pariyo dapanang etang buddhana sasanang. And I think he will teach this stanza to anybody in any situations. If somebody is wondering, what do we have to do, or how do we practice the Buddha's Dhamma, Buddha's teaching? So he will teach this stanza. Sabba papa sakaranang, refrain from all kind of mental and physical and verbal unwholesome deeds, and kusalasa upasampada, and also we have to cultivate some skillful activities, skillful deeds. Kusalasa upasampada sachitte paryudapanang, and also we have to observe our mind, tame our mind, control our mind. Etang buddhanusasanang, and this is the teachings of all Buddhas, not only one single Buddha, but all Buddhas, or any Buddha who will be like emerging in this world. So let's discuss about this, how Prince Siddhartha Gautama became a Buddha, and what do you have to do actually to reach that kind of level, at least suppose like maybe even Sotapatti or Sakadagami or Anagami or Arahant. So to reach that highest level, what do you have to do, or what kind of practices we have to practice? Before that, let's elaborate about the first stanza I just told you. Aneka jati sangsarang sanda visangane bisang gahakaraka gavesantu dukha jati punapunang gahakarga dittosi punage hang nekahasi sabbate phasuka bagha gahakutang visang katang visankara gatang chittang tanhanang khayamajega. So let's talk about this stanza first. We know that at the age of 29, Prince Siddhartha, he renounced his wealthy lifestyle. He was a prince, and he was and his father was very rich, and he built 3 types of palaces for 3 seasons, like rain, summer, and winter, and even spending his 29 years of his life spending in a luxurious way. Still, he went outside, found out that life is not the way we see. There is so much thing, and the reality of life is very much different than the way we see. So he quested for the truth, and he searched for the truth for like 6 years, and practicing all types of traditions, all types of philosophies, religions during at that time. So after 6 years of hard austerities, and then finally he became a Buddha. So many of us, even we follow Buddhism, like admire the Buddha, but still we wonder actually what kind of practice we have to do. We know about the 5 precepts, we know about the meditations, but the thing is, what is the actually direct way? What is the direct method to practice this Dhamma and also reach the Nibbana, the supreme goal of like practicing Buddhism? So, Aneka Jati Sangsarang, which means like for so many like lifetimes, so many lives, so many existence, I have been wandered here and there, Aneka Jati Sangsarang. So the Buddha, when he was a bodhisattva, so he wandered so many times in this samsara, in this world, or in this existence. Sanda visang anibisang. He ran from here to there, but he couldn't find the solutions to escape this samsara. Aneka jati sangsarang sanda visang anibisang gahakaraka gavesanto. So he was looking for the house builder, the house of this body. This is our house. So he was looking for the house builder, dukkha jati punapunang, and then searching for that house builder, dukkha jati punapunang. So he had been like reborn so many times, suffered so many times, dukkha jati punapunang gahakaraka dittosi. But soon he became a Buddha. So he saw who is responsible to build this this physical structure, this mental structure, to become or to reborn into this samsara. Who is responsible for that? Gahakarga visantu dukkha jati punah punah. Gahakarga dittosi punah gehang nekahasi. So when he became a Buddha, he know that he won't reborn again. He won't suffer again. Punah gehang nekahasi sabbhate phasuka bhagga. So he had destroyed all the beams to like build up this house. He has destroyed all the beams. Gahakutang visankatang. And also he shattered the ridge pole of the house. He shattered the ridge pole of the house. Gahakutang visankatang visankara gatang chittang. And his mind is now unconditional, visankara. So later on within this Dhamma talk, we will talk about the Sankhara too. So Visankara Gatang Chittan Tanhanang Kayamajjaga. And also he destroyed all type of cravings, all type of attachments, finally becoming an enlightened person or awakened one. So this is like Buddha's expression. Soon he became a Buddha. His expressions was like he was so happy person, and he was very excited to express his realizations. So first of all, before going too deeper in the Buddhism, we actually have to understand that if we don't understand the Four Noble Truths, if we don't understand what are those Four Noble Truths, how do we practice those Four Noble Truths, and how do we apply those Four Noble Truths, then we cannot understand the real teaching of Buddha. So even though in Buddhism we know that it's used to say that there are 84,000 of Dhammakanda, or like groups of Dhamma or groups of teachings, 84,000. And some of our scholars say that, okay, there are 84,000 doors to get entry into the Buddhism. So yes, it is true that there is not only a single door to know, to learn about Buddhism, to learn or to practice the words of Buddha. There are many types of different doors, because everyone like has their different level of understanding, the different capacity to understand the Buddha's teaching. So yeah, so when Buddha taught his doctrine, taught his Dhamma, he didn't teach everyone with one single method. He used many different methods so that person can understand according to his understanding capacity. So Four Noble Truths, to understand before Four Noble Truths, let's just think about this life. Let's just think about how the life is going on, and not everyone's life. Just look at ourselves, look at our life. At the present moment, many people are like worrying or are thinking about their family members who are not with them, or relatives who are not with them. Suppose if you are staying or living in US, maybe you are thinking about all those like family members or relatives who are living abroad because of these pandemic situations, and then maybe they are also wondering how we are living in US, because US had the like most like highest number right now. So they are wondering how we are here, how we are spending our lives. So imagine what Buddha did actually. He was when he was a prince, he had everything. He had luxuries. He has like palaces. He has a lovely family, parents, and also wife and cousins. So he had a very happy family life. But still, he was not looking for a happy family life. He was looking for a ultimate solution to, which is the liberation from all kind of suffering. Soon he saw all those four signs of old age, sickness, dead body, and also the ascetic. He wondered, like he realized that we cannot escape from sickness, we cannot escape from getting old, we cannot escape from the death. But still he was looking for a solution to escape from all those like sufferings, from getting old, from dying. He was looking for those solutions. And even right now, we too, imagine we can escape any kind of viruses, we can escape any kind of sicknesses, we can escape any kind of problems or struggle in this life. But still we cannot escape from getting old. We cannot escape from, suppose you escape from getting sick, but still you will get old. Suppose you escape from getting old, you don't get old, you stay young for lifetime, I mean for forever. But still you are not eternal in this world. All of us have to die one day. So the person who is wise, he understands the reality, the situation of this life. He understands that we are not here in this world for forever. One day, sooner or later, we have to go, we have to leave this universe, and then the end is not there either. So the Buddha, when he understood this all these problematic things in this life, then he wanted to like make a change, or he wanted to get a change. So he followed three steps. He followed three steps, which are Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So how can we apply this Sila, which is morality, or Samadhi, which is concentration, and also Panya, which is the wisdom? How can we apply these three steps in our life? And Buddha understood the first noble truth is suffering. It is when you say it is suffering, which is dukkha, means jati pi dukkha, jara pi dukkha, vyadi pi dukkha, maranam pi dukkha, piyehi sampayoga dukkha, apiyehi sampayoga dukkha, piyehi vipayoga dukkha, yam picham na labati tampi dukkha. So these are all type of suffering. Like when you are born here, you will get sick, you cannot escape, and getting sick is suffering. And also jarapi dukkha, decaying or getting old, is suffering. We don't want to get old, but still we get old. So there are many people who don't want to get old when they have white hair. They want to change the color of the white or gray hair, right? We don't want to get old. So it is suffering. Anything happens against our will, it's suffering. And sometimes we meet those things that we don't like sickness, like people, like many other things that we have to get separated. But still, it is suffering. And there are some moments, the people we love, the people or the things we want, we don't get them or we lose them. It is suffering. So this is the first noble truth. This first noble truth is not for individual. It is universal for everyone. So everyone get old, everyone get sick, everyone die someday later. Everyone face all those problems or experiences, like separating from beloved people or beloved things, or being associated with those things or those people that we don't like, that we don't want. Still we have to face those situations. So these are universals for everyone. So it's not just only for those people who believe or practice Buddhism. No, this is for everyone. So this is suffering. So why it is suffering? In the first noble truth, Buddha said that our pattern of the mind, the habitual pattern of the mind is mostly is full of like illusion, mostly full of delusions. And our habitual pattern of the mind always see the things which are not real, which is not reality. And suppose when we since the day we are born, when we were a child, when we were children, and we cry when we don't get, we cry. So when we are hungry, we cry because we cannot speak. At the time when we cry or when we want things and we don't get it, we cry, we become sad. And then suppose you want things, you want to buy something, a toy or something when you were a child, and then you cry, so your parent understand and then give it to you. And that is how our mind actually used to be. Our mind becomes sad, so we want to have it. If you don't get it, and we become sad, we cry and we suffer. So from the time of childhood, we made this habit. We made this habit that if our mind, whatever our mind wants, it needs it. It wants it. If you don't get that thing, and you feel suffer, you feel like all this disappointment, frustrations, hopelessness. So this is the habitual pattern of the mind. Our minds always want something, and then suppose when you get it, and then you create an imaginary ownership of that thing. Suppose I want to have like maybe an iPad, right? Suppose I want to have this iPad, and I didn't have this iPad. Now I want to have this iPad. And what you do later on, you create a kind of attachment or craving to the thing that you wanted or to the things that you got it. So when you lose it, you feel frustrations. When you lose it, you feel frustrations, you feel disappointment. So these are very normal. So this is why the Buddha said that all these problematic experiences, all these like struggles are truth. These are universal truth. But when you understand all these things with better knowledge or wisdom, then it becomes a noble truth. If you don't understand these like simple problems or simple things, then it is not noble truth. It is only noble truth when you understand with your wisdom, with your intelligence. And imagine people, how this attachment, how these things, this attachment, this craving create the imaginary person, which is I, which is ego, or which is mine. So imagine when I become kind of or engineer or doctor or someone, or maybe a politician, or maybe a high profile person or personality. So automatically this habitual pattern of the mind, so the mind has a habit. When you have in a higher place, the mind becomes so egoistic attitude, something not everyone but most of us. Like suppose if I become a monk, if I'm a monk, if people respect me, if many people like admire me, then if I'm not wise enough, if I'm not like well practiced or well aware about the Buddha's teaching, maybe also I will create an ego like, okay, wow, so many people are respecting me, many people are admiring me, many people are giving me or offering me a lot of things. I'm so like a very good monk, or I'm kind of very higher, that attitude automatically come into this mind. But when a wise person who is well learned and well trained in Buddhism, practically and theoretically and logically, so he thinks, whatever he gets, whatever he gets, any admirations or praise or like accusations, all those things, he doesn't react to those things, doesn't react. He just like go with the flow. So go with the flow means actually you train your mind not to react all those things, not to react the happiness or the sadness, but observe all these things with wisdom, observe all the situations with like wise mind. So observing means, suppose when the problem happens, how our sankhara or how our mental formations like influence everything in our life. So the first noble truth, Buddha talk about 5 aggregates, which are panchakanda, the 5 aggregates. The 5 aggregates are the reasons of sufferings. The 5 aggregates are when we create that imaginary persons of ourselves. When we stand in front of the mirror and we imagine about our look, we imagine our appearance, we think, wow, I'm handsome, I'm beautiful, I'm this and that, this and that. So we create that imaginary person of ourselves, and then when we imagine that person, that imaginary person, and someone give you like negative comments about you, and that negative comment is not like agreed with the way you think about yourself. Suppose you used to think like you are a very good person, and suddenly a person like someone told you you are a very bad person, you are not or maybe sometimes you feel like you're beautiful or you're handsome, and someone told you you're ugly. So you see, when the thinker, the imaginary person like contradict with the other negative mental like comments or negative saying about you, you feel anger, you feel frustration, you feel disappointment. Suppose when you are a teacher or when you are any person, like, and you create that imaginary person about your own self, and then when people give you something that are not agreed with your thinking, so you feel frustration, you feel anger. So this is how our ego obstruct to see the reality, the actual reality of our life. And let me just give you a little like basic introduction about the 5 aggregates, how these aggregates or 5 elements disturb our mind or to obstruct our mind to understand the reality. So the first one, we call it Nama Rupa. Nama Rupa means simply it means mind and matter. So when Prince Siddhartha Gautama trying to find the truth, questing for the truth, he realized that we have 2 types of physical structure or two types of structures or body, which is one is Manokaya and another one is Rupakaya. So Rupakaya means which are like physical structure of this body. These are physical structure. The physical structure you can see very clearly. These are the physical structure. We have eye, nose, ears, or this physicality. And Buddha also realized there is another structure, not only physical structure, but there is also a mental structure. Mental structure, we cannot see that structure, but the mental structure exists. We think, we feel sad, we feel happiness, or we feel excitement, We feel anger, we feel calm and peace, or we feel serenity. So all those things occur in this mental structure. So this is nama rupa. So we have the mental and physical structure. And another one is vijnana. The closest translation to English, we call it consciousness. So the consciousness, so in these 5 aggregates actually, nama rupa, this is mind and matter, and the other 4 parts are related to the mind, related to the consciousness, related to the mentality. So the vijnana is a consciousness. The vijnana means we have 6 senses according to Buddhism. The 6 senses are like eye, nose, ear, like tongue, physical body, and also our mind. So mind also a faculty. So we have these 6 senses or 6 sensual faculties, like eye, nose, tongue, ear, body, and the mind. So these 6 senses, these sensual faculties have their 6 objects respectively. Something we call it aramana or nimitta in Pali language. So the object through this eye you see, through this ear you hear, through this nose you smell, through this the tongue you taste, and through this body you feel or you tangible things, and then through this mind you think. So when these 6 senses, compact with their 6 objects, and the vijnana arise, the unconsciousness, a thought arise. So when you see a beautiful things or ugly things, you create that the vijnana automatically arise at that moment when you hear beautiful things, and the thoughts comes in our mind. So the vijnana, the function of vijnana is only creating or generating thoughts in our minds. That is the function of vijnana, consciousness. The third part of the mind is sanya. So the sanya is kind of perceptions, or just think about the signals when this mind, the eye see the form, and then the eye and the form, when they meet each other, when they get into contact each other, and then the perceptions arise at that moment. So that is the part or the functions of sanya, the perceptions. And also vedana. So when eye, the form, they meet together, they get into contact with each other, and the perception arises, and after that the sensation arises. The sensation means the vedana, which is evaluations. So you evaluate the things you see, the things you hear, the things you smell, the things you feel, or the things you think. You evaluate them. So suppose when you hear a bad words about you, and then you just hear, but after hearing, that vedana, the part of that aggregates, the 5 aggregates, evaluate that sounds, that voice. Suppose somebody is praising about you, you just hear it, and then the vedana part of the 5 aggregates, he evaluate that vedana, evaluate that voice, and if the voice or the sound is the person talking good things about you, you're handsome, or you're beautiful, or you're a good person, or you have this and that, and then the vedana, the sensations, they evaluate that saying. So either it will evaluate with negativity, or either it will evaluate with positivity, or with, maybe we call it kamachanda or vyapada. So you evaluate with either with craving, or you evaluate with either with aversions. And if you like what you hear, you create attachment, you create craving. And when you don't like the things you hear, the things you see, the things you feel, or the thing you smell, and then the aversions arise. So evaluations, the part of the Vedana is actually evaluating all those experiences we face in our life. The last part is, which is the most powerful things, it's the sankhara. So the other three parts, they are functions. They have only functions. They don't have any karmic consequences. They don't have any what you call like that power to create a next karma or different karma. Only sankhara create a new sankhara or new like formations of like mental structure. So the sankhara is the reason we have karma, all those the things that create karma, the things we have to face, all those things. So the sankhara, which is the most sankhara, why there's a sankhara, why we have karmic consequences, or those sankhara, the mental formations. Why do we have that? It is Buddha realized that it is because of our ignorance. It's because our the things of we easily attached to things or to something or to some people, or easily hate to things or to the people or to some people because of our ignorance. The ignorance is very powerful things that blinded us seeing the truth. In our life, most of things which we live in kind of delusion or illusions, and we cannot see the things as they really are. It is because of our ignorance. So this, because of this, we the five aggregates, when all this work together, so it create more sankhara or more mental formation that give us new karma, and it keep these five aggregates keep us in this samsara, in this cycle of samsara, and again this is why we reborn again and then reborn again. So the attachment create more sankhara. When you see things and you feel attachment, or when you hear things you feel attachment, and either with attachment, it could be the attachment, it could be aversion, or it could be craving. So that is because of that we feel suffering in our life most of the time. And we have seen people are dying, getting sick. Suppose right now we know that there are thousands of people lost their life during this pandemic situation. Not only this during pandemic situation, but every day, every second or every minute, there is a person dying somewhere else. But we didn't feel that frustrations or that disappointment, that sadness when somebody die who are not near to us. But suppose if someone near to you, someone maybe someone you love or admire die, then you feel suffering, you feel frustrations, because you had that you evaluate the death of a person who is not related to you, and you evaluate the person who is related to you and the death of the person you related with you. So you evaluate those things, and soon we evaluate as a sankhara, we generate sankharas, we generate mental formations. These mental formations are the things that give us karma, that they give us rebirth again and again, again and again. But in this life, when we understand these functions, and then we wonder how can we get rid of this puzzle, get of this the things we are entangled ourselves with these experiences. So the Buddha said that the attachment, the aversions are the main reasons of our suffering, of our like disappointment, of our frustrations, hopelessness. And when you understand these things, you understand even the second noble truths. When you understand that aversions or attachments are the main causes for our suffering, for our like painful experiences, and then you understand the second noble truths. And when you understand the second noble truths, the second noble truth, the first one is for parinyaya. First noble truth, we have to understand that we have to accept the reality. Yes, there are sufferings in this world, in this life. Yes, there are sufferings, and we have to accept that. We have to accept that when soon we are born here, people will say bad things about us, people will say good things about us, and then we will feel happiness and sadness and suffering. These are truth. You have to accept them. You cannot change them. So when you understand, when you accept with reality, with understanding, then you understand a first noble truth. The second noble truth, when you understand that because of the attachment, because of our aversions, the way we react to those things, those are the cause of suffering. So the third noble truth is actually when Buddha realized that when you can actually letting go of all those aversions, all those attachment and cravings, when you can release them from your mind, from your thinking, give up all those things, then you feel less suffering. Let me give you an example. Imagine a poor person's trying to get a bicycle, and he didn't have money, so he saved money for maybe 2-3 years, and then finally he bought a bicycle, and soon he created that so much attachment with that bicycle, even he doesn't want to ride on the bicycle. He just keep it very safe and very clean, and then he always clean that bicycle. But suddenly the bicycle got accident, and the bicycle is broken, and the person's so much sad right now because he has been saving money for 2-3 years. Finally he bought the bicycle, but within a second the bicycle is broken. So he experience miserable misery, very sad, very unhappy, very frustration and disappointment, and he is thinking, oh no, my bicycle is broken. So this is the first scenario. And the second scenario, let's see. So the man bought the bicycle, and he rode the bicycle for several times, and then finally he sold that bicycle to someone else. And the person who bought that bicycle, so he gave money to the person who sold to him, but next day that person got accident and broke his bicycle totally, and then his bicycle destroyed. So the first person who sold that bicycle, that he won't feel that sadness as the first scenario he did, because he sold his bicycle, he got money. Even that bicycle is broken or destroyed, he won't worry, he won't bother about that anymore, because he just gave up the bicycle. He let go of that bicycle, the attachment he had before. Now he let go. He sold that bicycle. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He doesn't bother about now whether that person break that bicycle or destroy the bicycle, because he let go of that craving. He let go of that craving. Now he doesn't feel that experience. So this is how our attachment, our craving work in our life, and then make us suffer about in our experiences, in our life situations. So when you can let go of your craving, of your attachments, then you feel less suffer. And when you can totally let go of all those craving attachments, finally you get enlightened persons, enlightened men. So the Buddha realized this thing at the third noble truth, that when you can let go of all of your craving and all of your attachment, you feel less suffering. So, well, he just understood this. The first thing he understand, and second thing he also understand things, and the third one, he realized that okay, we have to let go of all this craving and attachment. And the fourth noble truths are the final things. How can we practice our the Buddhism? How can we follow the word of Buddhism to reach that highest level of enlightenment of Nibbana? And then Buddha saw that we have to practice 8 noble paths. The 8 noble paths are not for understanding, are not for realizations, but 8 noble paths are solemnly for practicing. So if you don't practice this 8 noble path, you cannot understand the core of Buddhism. So the Sila, Samadhi, Panya are included in this 8 noble path. So I'm just giving you this as a tutorial, right? So the Sila, which in this Sila part, the group, so 8 noble paths are grouped into 3 sections. Sila, the first one is you have to take care of your speech. You have to take care of your physical activities. You have to take care of your and also your lifestyle. So how do you take care of your speech? And Buddha said that, okay, first of all, we have to observe in this morality. So when you can train your mind, when you can train your body, physical things, and when you can train the way we do in our life, in your life, then we keep the morality secure. When you can look after your speech, looking after your speech means you don't tell lie, but instead of telling lie, and you try to speak truth with your mom and dad, or with your children, or with your neighbors, or even with your family members or friends, neighbors. Wherever you go, you keep this morale. You are honest, you are loyal, and you keep this truthfulness with you. And the second one, with this right speech, which in Pali we call it Samma Vacha. So a right speech, the first one, you don't tell lie, but you tell the truth. And the second one is Parusa Vacha, harsh speech. So you avoid speaking harsh words. You don't curse and you don't speak harsh. Instead, you speak very gentle words with your wife, with your husband, with your mom and dad, or with your children, neighbor, or with your friends. You speak very gently, very kind words. And these are also including the morality. So morality of speech. And then the third part of the right speech is Pisuna Vacha. So you don't use backstabbing, or you don't stab someone from behind. And when you have to speak something, you don't make things worse. So you are straightforward, and then you speak to the person very kindly, with compassionate, when you see something not good with him, and when you think he is a bad person, just doing some bad stuff, and then you, out of compassion and out of kindness, you go to him, then directly tell him and teach and guide him that, okay, you shouldn't do this and do that. So these are very practical way, using our speech. And the fourth one is actually Sampapalapa. You don't speak the things that make people quarrel to each other. Suppose you are married and you have a husband and wife, or you have children, or you have neighbors. So you don't speak with your partner or friends or family members the way you make things quarrel. You always speak the way two persons become good friends, best friends, or two groups become good friends. So these are very practical way about taking care of your speech. And then third, so this is how we have to take care of our speech. And then how can we take care of our physical activities? So physical activities, the Buddha said that if you want to practice the samma kammanta, you have to like watch out your physical activities. First one, you don't kill, you don't you're avoid of killing or taking any lives, and then instead you become very generous, very kind, and then you're very compassionate to all those living beings, and then you always try to help somebody, your friends, your family, or all those needy people in your village or in your community, society. So you are very helpful for saving life, and you support for saving life. And the second one is for samma kammanta, which is not stealing. Not stealing. No stealing means instead of that no stealing precepts, you do like generous activities. You help people, and you generate or you don't like become generous to those needy people. You respectful people. See, these are very like simple way to practice or take care of these physical activities. And then again, the third one is you like respect everyone's. When you are married or when you are adult, and you don't do any adultery things or things that harmful for yourself and for other persons or other party. So you take care of this body, and you respect and become loyal to your husband, to your wife, to your family members, and honest. You keep this. So we have to develop and cultivate these qualities. And then fourth one is actually no drinking, no taking alcohols, no taking drugs. Instead, you practice the Dhamma. You learn about the Dhamma. So these are very practical way. So samma vaca, samma kammanta, samma ajiva. So samma ajiva means, we are human beings. We have to live our life. We have to make money. We have to make, all those things. But while doing all those professions, you don't choose a profession that are harmful for yourself and also for other persons. You choose a profession that are very where like killings are not included, or like stealings are not included, or human traffics are not included, or poisons or weapons. All these harmful things are not included in your professions. So you choose a profession just to like sustain your life, your family, and your relatives. And these are very practical ways. So we have to practice just by thinking or understanding or want to make it happen. We have to practice this. So this the sila part is actually how we take care of our speech, and how we take care of our body, and how we take care of our lifestyle. So this is the sila. And again, the samadhi. So when we get rid of all the suffering, not only sila is important, but also samadhi, which is the concentration of our mind. So in this part of the concentration, we have three parts, which are samma sati, samma samadhi. First we had samma vaca, samma kammanta, samma ajiva, and now we have samma vayama, and also samma vayama, samma sati, samma samadhi. When this vayama means effort, so we have all those like energetic feelings or stamina, that four types of effort we have to do in our life, which are first you do like effort not to do bad things, and you do effort to stop the bad things you have been doing from the past. And another two types of efforts are when you didn't do a good deed in the past. Suppose imagine you didn't take like a meditation course, or you didn't take 8 days precepts, or no, 8 type of precepts in your life, then you have to do it. You should practice. You should afford to do that. And like suppose if you want to take a meditation course in this, you didn't take a meditation course or a vipassana course, just take it right now. So this is how you like tell your mind to as your like effort. And second one is, suppose you have been practicing all this good stuff, all this good, these wholesome deeds, and you didn't kill, you didn't steal, or you didn't tell a lie, or didn't yell at someone or scream at someone. So you have to keep this thing. You have to keep all these good works and continue and cultivate and develop these good works in your life. So this is how the Samma Vayam, or the right type of effort, we have to take it. So right type of effort, we have to understand whatever we do, right effort, always we have to keep in our mind that we are doing all these things just to get liberations, not for having fun, not for entertainment. And some people may think like, imagine about a maybe an elephant. Like imagine about the elephant. Elephant is like herbivorous animals. So the elephant eats leaves and all this stuff, right? So he didn't kill any person. He didn't kill any living being in this life. Just imagine. But can an elephant, like in his life, will it be like no killing as a precept? And imagine the elephant, even though he didn't kill any living beings, but if that elephant didn't have that mentality of getting liberations, it won't be helpful. I mean, in our life, we have to have that mentality, always keep in our mind that whatever we do, we are doing for liberation, not for anything else. And if we don't have that understanding, if we don't do with that mentality of liberation, that it won't be right type of, like, speech or physical activities, or samma vacha, samma kammanta, or even if your effort is not right type of effort, it won't help you. So even our effort or our try should be a right type of effort. Imagine you stuck in a boat in a dark night, and you want to cross the river, and you paddle the boat, right, to cross the river whole night you paddled your boat, but next morning you realize that you didn't release the anchor, which is stuck under the water. So you didn't move even single inch from your place, even though you had effort. I mean, you tried to cross the river for whole night, but you couldn't. So even this effort is useless. So the effort should be with understanding, with wisdom. The effort which make you cross the river of suffering. Because Buddha know that in this Four Noble Truths, he also taught 2 types of extreme things we shouldn't follow. And the first one was like sensual pleasure. Sensual pleasure means there are some people, when they feel like when you have much, a lot of money, when you have a lot of luxuries, then you can avoid getting old or getting sick or getting suffering. So this is this type of thinking is a kind of ignorance. When you feel like we have a lot of money, and then so we can buy happiness, we can get we won't get old. So some people, you see, they had $1 million, like they're like very rich, but still they don't have the happiness, because money cannot buy happiness. So Buddha said that sensual pleasure cannot make you escape from suffering. Indulging in sensual pleasure won't stop you getting suffering. And then and also another part is there are some people in Buddha's time, when they feel like, okay, as much as you can give suffering or torture to this body, so all your destined suffering will be gone. So which is not true. And Buddha realized that there are some people, even when they feel suffering, or when they are in so much depression, so when they are in so much stressful, some people, they try to they kill themselves, they commit suicide because they thought like they can escape from this depression, this stressful life, which is not true. The Buddha said that even we can destroy this physical structure, but we cannot destroy our mental structure. Our mental structure, the process of mental structure continue from this life to another. Suppose this mental structure, you lose our physical structure, again this mental structure will find another physical structure, because the process is not ended there. So the mental process continues from existence to existence, as long as we have attachment or craving. But soon we can get rid of craving and attachment or aversion, then we shorten our samsara, the cycle of samsara. So the Buddha realized this sila or this samadhi concentrations, when you should have also right type of concentrations. Right type of concentration means the mindfulness, the sammasati, or we know that at the present time we know there are lots of mindfulness meditation, these and that. But the right type of mindfulness meditation should be only realizing the truth, to get liberation, to get realize the nibbana. So mindfulness should be to get rid of suffering, not just deluding your mind, not just numbing your mental structure, because some kind of mindfulness are like taking painkiller injection or taking painkiller pills. So you take the painkiller and then you don't feel your physical structure getting numb, but mental structure still work there. So that is why Buddha said that we have to have right type of mindfulness too in our life. Right type of mindfulness is being aware of our mental structure or our thinking. So when Buddha said being aware or live at the present moment, is you don't create or you don't evaluate your sensations or physical or mental sensations, and you watch that sensations with you observe that sensation with equanimity or without reactions. So when Buddha said don't react, so it actually means you stay with equanimous mind. So equanimous mind is the gateway to destroy or to eradicate our sankara's mental formations. And so avidya or the ignorance creates sankara, but also panya destroy the sankara, or wisdom destroy our mental formations. The wisdom is only when we understand that the impermanence of this world, impermanence of all the things we face or experience in our life. So when we understand the impermanence, the ephemeral conditions of our experiences, feelings or emotions, or all those consciousness arise or thoughts arise in our mind, or things we experience in our life, all the things are ephemeral. They are not eternal. They are not for lifetime. They will change. So when we understand that everything is changed, then we stop creating aversions, creating attachments, because we know that whatever arises, it will exist and then disappear. Upada Titi Bhanga. So these three steps of nature come into exist, and then they stay limited times, and then they disappear. So when we understand these three steps, then we realize, okay, it is useless to react those the things that are impermanent. So we stay with mindfulness, we stay with equanimous mind. So equanimous mind we can create, or we can have the equanimous mind only when we practice the sila, the moralities, and also that we practice the right type of concentrations. So right type of concentrations are helpful to have that equanimous mind. So when we have equanimous mind, when we can keep our mind equanimous without reacting to all this physical and mental sensation, then there are no more sankhara arises in our life. So this is why at the beginning of a stanza, Buddha stated, in that stanza Buddha said that visang gahakotang visang katang, the ridge pole of the house is shattered. Visankhara gatang chittang. His mind is visankhara. His mind is unconditioned now. Because if you don't have any conditions, then you have no more other cause and effects. So visankhara, when we can create our mind as unconditioned, like when we can keep our mind equanimous, then we don't create any more karma. We don't create any more sankharas, because our mind didn't react all those things we feel, we face or experience in our life. So the sankhara, only the way we can destroy our mental formations, or all this mental formation that give us karma, that give us rebirth, or that give us suffering, is actually staying with equanimous mind. We call it upekha, or equanimous mind. So we have to develop this equanimous mind only through practicing the Eight Noble Path, or more sila, samadhi, or right type of morality, right type of concentrations. So then we can have the equanimous mind. We can develop our mind in a state that we can be able to keep our mind equanimous in any situations. So at this moment, in this pandemic situation, in this world, we have to keep our mind equanimous with understanding that nothing is permanent, nothing is eternal, everything is impermanent. So everything will be gone today, sooner or later. So understanding that reality, we should keep our mind equanimous. And at the home, to people who are having quarantine or staying at home, don't think this is kind of lockdown, and you feel you should think this is an opportunity for you, opportunity to learn and practice your Dhamma. Do you practice meditation, or learn or read about Buddha's doctrine? So you keep this time or situation as your opportunity, not as bad things or bad situation. So keep this opportunity and have good time with family members and together. So the Samma Samadhi, and the rest two are Samma Ditti and Samma Sankappa, right type of understanding, and right type of thinking, Samma Sankappa, Samma Sati. So Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa. So right type of understanding, which are means like seeing the things as they are, the things I'm telling right now, seeing the things as they are. So we should create or develop our mind to be able to see the world as it is. So when we can see the things as it is, when we can see things as they really are, then we can have that equanimous mind. So this time we need equanimous mind. This situation, not only this situation, all the time in our life, we have to keep that equanimous mind with us. So then we create no more sankharas, no more karma, and also we destroy our old sankhara, and we stop generating new sankhara. So today, in this Dhamma talk, I think I have tried to explain the Four Noble Truths, and try to explain how Buddha became a Buddha following this Eight Noble Path, and also how we can keep our mind equanimous. How should we keep our mind equanimous? And as why should we keep our mind equanimous during this pandemic situation or any situations? And how can we destroy our sankharas, our mental formations, to get rid of suffering or to reach the nibbana, the liberations? So first, should practice sila, morality, and then samadhi, the right type of concentration, and the other panya, the wisdom, to be able to see the things as they are, and with equanimous mind. So I think I will have another sessions for from the 10 to 10:30 with the meditation session. So for the Dhamma talk will be completed here. Thank you for watching.